Dear friends and scholars, time and again the Supreme Court of India in umpteen number of times have upheld the sanctity of free speech and expression guaranteed to citizens under Article 19(1)(a) of the Indian Constitution. The irony is that neither the central government nor the state governments adhere to the orders of the highest court of the land. Of very recently, the Supreme Court of India has come to the rescue of a citizen in Delhi who has posted a message in Facebook for criticizing the state government of West Bengal for non-enforcement of lockdown norms. The point is that the government of West Bengal, in fact, should have appreciated the person who has made a positive comment or idea to the government in the interest of the general public, but has issued police summons to a Delhi resident to appear in Kolkata. The Supreme Court has commented this is very dangerous. Supposing if a person posts one social media post in Delhi and call him to Kolkata, or a person post a Facebook comment in Chennai or elsewhere, would call to far off distance is dangerous to the Indian democracy. It has given a clear-cut message to both the central government and the state governments that let India remain a country. We as the Supreme Court are here to protect the freedom of speech and expression. The reason why the Supreme Court was created by the Constitution is to ensure that citizens are not harassed. This is the sound statement and judicial pronouncement made by the highest court of the land. It is to be noted here and that the High Court of Uttar Pradesh has quashed a sedition case against a journalist who accused the Chief Minister of indulging in corruption. The Uttarakhand High Court has rightly said that unless public functionaries are criticized, democracy cannot be strengthened. If dissent is suppressed under the sedition law, it would make the democracy so weak. Criticizing the government, never be a citizen. This is the judicial verdict given by the Honorable High Court of Uttarakhand. The government of Karnataka has decided to ban its employees, that is government servants, to publish any book or engage himself or herself habitually in literary or artistic or scientific work without the permission of the prescribed authority. In fact, in most of the states, Indian democracy admits the creative writings or thinking of Indian citizen and its artistic values, scientific works by the government servants and others in the interest of the nation and in the interest of the citizens. On the other hand, suppressed dissent of the Indian citizen, the government of Karnataka has issued these guidelines. It's against democracy, it is against the principles of the natural justice, it is against the constitutional values. Our point is this: the Times of India in its editorial on 13th November has, 29th November. The Times of India in its editorial on 30th October has rightly pointed out that this being the settled law on sedition, police are keener to follow political dictates rather than umpteen judicial pronouncements quashing seditious cases as well as narrowly restricting its interpretation. The time has come for the Supreme Court to re-examine whether the colonial era sedition law is applicable with the constitutional freedoms given its frequent abuses in India. The point is that the Facebook should not allow the hate speeches on intercaste marriages. If at all any message or news item that has been put by the social media against the hate speech on interfaith couples or nationality or ethnicity or caste should be disallowed by the Facebook. That is our humble request. On the other hand, the right things of making criticism against the central government or the state government and whatever may be the authority concerned should be appreciated by the authorities concerned. Hence, the British has gone. The sedition law, which has been created by the Britishers in their own land, has been repealed, but in India it continues. It is against the principles of democracy and constitutional schemes of things. Thank you so much.